So this is episode 47. I got slightly ahead of myself last week because that was 46, not 48. Anyway, these are the things we do. Energy. I think that's the theme for this week. It is New York Tech Week, and like, oh my God, there is so much energy in the room. The city is like buzzing. I'm meeting like similar faces at different events, moving around. It's been really, really fun to do. And I thought it was going to be draining, just, I guess, physically draining and emotionally draining. And it hasn't really been. And I think in part it's because I'm just surrounded by so many like-minded people. The draining piece, I think, comes from needing to sort of try and stay focused and always be on. But luckily, so far, that's sort of been mitigated. And the really great thing about it all is that it's almost turned into like a mini picture palooza. And by that, I mean, because you're talking to so many people so quickly and you're telling, you're giving your elevator picture, boom, 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 boom. You're like looking at their faces and able to adapt what you're saying. And so, whereas before my pitch was like, hey, the Knowledge Shop is a marketplace for founders to host in-person collaborative co-working sessions. I'm now thinking bigger and actually saying, okay, the Knowledge Shop is a marketplace for remote workers without a team to collaborate with people in person. And we'll see how that goes, but hopefully that then shows that there's a bigger opportunity than just founders. There's definitely, and maybe I'm just being sensitive to it, but you definitely see certain types of business get more excitement around it than others. And it could just be that I'm talking to people who don't really care about marketplaces or co-working or whatever. They just think they get it and they don't. But when somebody starts talking fintech data, numbers and things, then they get really excited. So I'm wondering if, and they sort of switch off online. So I don't know if it's like my delivery or if it's that I just need to, the next evolutionary step is to start including numbers in what I'm doing so that they understand the size of the opportunity. And frankly, I don't know what those are, but I've got to think that it would be very easy to tag on based on the numbers of WeWork, the number of freelancing platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, the other startups that have come about to support those, to then show the opportunity. But also, does it even matter really? It's like, yeah, I want people to buy into what I'm doing, but I'm not fundraising right now. I don't know if I will fundraise, and I'm building this for me, and I'm building this for all of the other people out there who I really believe will benefit from this, and it will help them build stronger businesses too. So we'll see how it all goes. But all of that to say, I think we are, the royal we, in a good place right now. And just talking to all these people so quickly has really helped me sort of solidify why I'm doing it. The fact that we're meeting everybody in person sort of solidifies the importance of in person. And what I've also found is with all of these events, you can't really have actually a very deep and meaningful conversation in a big room. Like, it's really hard. And most of the events are happy hours. And so you're just going around, you're trying to break into conversations, and it's tough. So the networking tips that I've picked up this week and I will share with you are just arrive at events early so that you are one of the first people in the room, and it makes it easier to start those conversations and have more meaningful conversations. And to talk while you wait. And by that I mean, if you're queuing to be checked in, if you're queuing for a lift, if you're queuing at the bar, just start talking to people, because that is going to be quality uninterrupted time. And then that gives you an opportunity to really get to know the person a little bit more. And also, I think it's a real leveler. And so another example of this was last night I was at an event, a 4 and Jupiter, and it was downtown in Vidai, and they had the most amazing musician. It was the guitarist, singer, guitarist. And I just went over, I took his photo, and somebody else was doing exactly the same thing. We got chatting, and like he was the founder of Jupiter, and so it's like, and they were the hosts, and so then okay, he's not there to talk to random people taking photos, but it was an opportunity, sort of one-on-one, that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So that was really good. And then I've walked back to the subway with a couple of people this week, and we've had, sort of nice conversations, and we wouldn't have had those otherwise. So that's been really useful too. And also, I guess, if you're waiting for food, that would be another one as well. So those are my networking tips, and I would encourage you to do that. And then also I take notes for everybody that I've spoken to, so that then I can remember who they were. And I'll, like, if I connect them immediately on LinkedIn, then I'll put a message to remind me of how we met, and then hopefully that makes it easier for them as well. So what have I done so far? So I had that before event last night. Day before that was day one, and that was really good. It was almost like going to a family event, because there were just so many people there that I knew, both from day one, but also from the Knowledge Shop group as well. And that was really lovely to see that they'd come because of the group. So I was supposed to go to the events that night, and I ended up just staying at the Knowledge Shop one. But then last night after 4, I went to Flybridge, and they had a fantastic rooftop setup with the most amazing live music. Like, they'd really invested not only in the music, but in food and drink. And, like, frankly, I don't even know how I ended up on their list, like, getting accepted, because what I hadn't realised, like, there was a whole conference ahead of it. And so you had lots of people with lanyards on who'd been to their event before, and so I guess they'd opened up a few spaces to other people in the network. So I feel very privileged that I got to go. And yes, that was just a great vibe. And then also found this amazing musician who turned out was the brother of one of the founders of Flybridge. So, and he's got residencies in New York, so going to hopefully go and see him at some point. And then this morning, there was like a coffee chat that Charlie Donald had organised through Brooklyn Bridge Ventures, and this was with Jenny Fielding, who runs the fund. She used to be the MD of Techstars here in New York, and that was great to chat to her a little bit, to hear more about, her thoughts on, fundraising. She was basically saying, well, if you haven't already got like a good pipeline, it's probably best to wait to the new year, but also that everybody needs to be like, everything is being repriced right now. Demand for houses, if that's going down, then expectations around what you can sell your house for, buy your house for, it should change in the same way that expectations around what founder can have their startup valued at has to change. And so everybody needs to get a bit more with it, really, in terms of that, and see where the market's at. So that was interesting. And if anybody's interested in what she's up to, then she invests in health, finance, and work. So I'm going to see if there's anything there that could be relevant for the Knowledge Shop. But also met so many great founders and a couple of fellow female entrepreneurs who were in the co-working startup space as well. So it'd be great if we could grab coffee. I'll message them and see if that's something that we can do, and go from there. So that's really been, the week so far. Things are good. Also still trying to move forward on the website, and Marina has been a saint. She is developing it, and I've taken over loads of notes, sent them to her. It's a little, it still needs some work. I still need to get some more stuff to her and really build out the content now, because basically what's going to happen is I'm going to have a shout and then I have to fill it. But my thinking is that maybe I run things almost like in sprints. So rather than just having events going on all the time, I might put them up every 2 weeks, a bit like restaurants do. They release their availability every couple of weeks. And so I think I'm going to do that for the Knowledge Shop too. So I'm going to create all these different events, or get people to create the events, and then almost do like an event drop. And so then maybe they go live like on a Monday, every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks and see what happens there. And then one thing I'll leave with you is just a great reminder about the Startup Leadership Program, SLP, which is like an accelerator. It's a not-for-profit that's run. I think it's just in the city. I don't know that for certain though. But a guy that I connected with previously had emailed me about it. I've spoken to a few people about it. Curious to find out more. And then it came up in conversation over coffee at breakfast. So I think that's the ether saying you should check this out. So I'm going to go and check that out as well. So that's me. As you can tell, there's been lots of things going on, lots of networking, lots of community building. And I guess one thing that I did this week, which could be useful for other people, is I created a Linktree account, actually 2. So one for me, one for the knowledge shop. And that's because I realised I'm just doing so many things. And it's really hard to make sure that people know everything. So Linktree is basically, for people who don't know, it's like you create a URL with a list of different things that you're doing, and then they can see them all in one place. So I've got, a newsletter sign up, a link to the WhatsApp group, Slack group, my podcast, sign up for the wait list. And then the one for me is all about sort of me personally. So actually that's, I think, where the podcast is, and YouTube. And, you can contact me and everything like that. So hopefully that will make it easier for people to follow the journey, see what's going on, and go from there. But anyway, things are good. I am excited for the week to be done though, because now as I'm talking, I'm like, yeah, I can tell the energy is going down a little bit. So I'll leave it there. Have a great week, everybody, and I will see you soon.